Broadcasting live inside a deep underground bunker on the UnitedWest.org AM radio network and simulcasting on DirecTV, iHeartRadio, Roku, and the World Wide Web. This is Enemies of the State with Tom Trento.
All right, here we go. Tom, here we go. TT, here we go.
Are we on?
We're on.
Okay.
Taking a nap there or what?
I'm wiped out, man. 2 weeks, the move from hell. My sore muscles have muscles that are sore. And if I'm Damon, my hands are sore. Damon's hands are sore. How many people get the hands sore? We've been moving for 2 weeks, day in and day out of our very large former bunker. But today, Wednesday, the 18th of February, 2015, Wednesday, the 18th.
Thursday, Tom.
Thursday.
Took you both.
Hey, we're tired too.
Thursday the 19th.
Thursday the 19th. Well, in reality, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Trento, your host here, WSBR Radio. In reality, it's Wednesday. It's Groundhog Day here for us at Enemies of the State in our new...
No, it's actually Thursday, Tom.
State-of-the-art facility. Yes. Should we tell them what happened yesterday?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's really Wednesday, but it's Thursday.
We got a good recording of Fox News yesterday.
We did. We had an amazing show. We're going to bring you essentially the same show we had yesterday. We're going to bring it to you today, but after we finished with a tremendously beautiful Skype connection with our dear friend and war correspondent, our guy on the ground, Michael Ganoe. We'll get to him in a little bit. We had a beautiful Skype connection, which is not easy in Israel.
No, it's not.
No.
Everything was wonderful, except what?
Except Fox News.
What about Fox News, Mark?
Director, technician, I built the internet.
Hey, you
And
would
I
think,
put it
you
in
would think
the
when you hit the mute
lockbox.
button, when you hit the mute button, it would not record on the audio track, but somehow it did.
Let me put it this way. I'm downstairs in my spacious office. It is pretty spacious.
With its own private bathroom.
With its own private bath. Yes. And I'm going into phase 2 of my professional responsibilities. Putting my steel-toe shoes on to go move junk. And Mark goes, we got a problem. Tom, we got a problem. I said, what? But I heard in his voice, Mark and I have done a lot of this stuff for a long time in different parts of the world. I know when it's a problem. I know it's a problem.
I know when it's a problem.
He goes, we got a problem. I go, oh boy, here we go.
Oh, God, here it comes.
So I immediately said in my mind, we got to reshoot the show in my mind. And I go up to the studio, and he says, we got to reshoot the show. And we had a special guest in the audience and the whole thing. Problem was, the landlord wasn't quite on our timetable for getting the hell out of where we were. And he was standing there saying, you guys got to get out. And we had our B team. Would you call them the B team?
Can we go with C team?
C or D? I think you can go with D. But
C.
We had,
Part was C and part was D
D.
minus. Actually, part performed like an A team.
Yeah.
They performed like an A team, but they're not our regulars.
Not our regulars,
And to
yes.
say
Right.
B team in this show has a different reference
yes,
Right.
that's
of
true.
of,
Team B, true.
of crime fighters.
Just the rookies were in the facility emptying it out with forklifts and moving beams and shelving and all of that stuff. And they needed the A team, and we're the A team to do that. So it was either get in a lot of trouble with the landlord and delay getting out, or figure out what to do for a show yesterday.
Have our stuff junked, actually.
Yeah,
because that's the pace
Our
they were going
valuable
on.
candles. So we had to make a command executive decision and said, hey, Waleed Shubat deserves a second
shot.
day. And he does, because many of you have not watched that show. It's a critically important show on the beheading of the 21 Christians. So the show we shot Tuesday for Wednesday, and yesterday's show we shot for yesterday? Is that what
Yesterday.
No, yesterday. Yesterday's show was for yesterday. Now we're doing the content from yesterday, some of the same content for today.
For today. And yesterday's show, we replayed Waleed's Shubat show. So if you're following that at 11 after, you're better off than I am, because I had about 3 hours sleep. But we're done moving. 2 weeks, now we can concentrate on...
I think everyone listening just got tired from our move.
I think so, yeah. But let me tell you about the show we have. We have Muaz Hussein. Muaz Hussein, he's a terrorist that works with CAIR out of Tampa, Florida. We are going to do a special report done by Alan Kornman. We're going to show you Muaz Hussein trying to erase his teeth with a tree branch.
Right.
I'm serious. You can see some of it right there. We also have, let me see what we have here. We got the Attorney General Eric Holder wearing some goofy glasses. The guy's got these new kind of glasses on, and he's standing on a dark stage. But he will go senile right on camera. And then we have, in addition to that, we have, you may have seen this story, but you didn't see us presenting it. We have Vice President Joe Biden literally sticking his ear in some...
No, his tongue.
Sticking his, his ear came after this, but sticking his tongue in some lady's ear as some important guy gives a speech, her husband, right in front of her. So we're going to show you that, and then we're going to tell you something very important about the Muslims in Libya. They are boarding boats and getting ready to sack Rome. They think it's 1100 A.D. The Crusades all over again. Those are some of the segments we have in store for you. And we have a little special segment. Is it wrong to smoke cigarettes and have musical instruments? Well, according to Islam, it is. And all you Muslims out there, throw your cigarettes away and burn all your instruments, okay? Because you belong to the happy religion that allows you such joy and comfort. But right now, we are going to Israel, the Middle East. And as we say here on our show, and this is a big idea, get this in your head. Israel is the eastern front of Western civilization, the only Western city, Western country, Jerusalem, the city in the Middle East. So do we have with us in the freezing cold in Israel, Michael Ganoe, Insight for Israel.
Well, I'm trying to get him not between food bites here.
And Hershey's for Heroes.
Is he eating a Hershey bar? I don't know. Oh, man.
You're on camera, Mike.
Yep. All right. He's on camera. Are you there?
I'm gonna let him just stand there. Look at this.
You stand there eating.
He's swallowing. We surprised Michael Ganoe because he is gracious enough to come out in the cold in Israel. Michael, you look like you're in Alaska. What's the temperature in Tel Aviv today?
It's probably about 45 degrees.
Oh, that's not too
my
bad.
God.
That's not too bad.
Actually, I think it might be a little colder. It's because they're going to get snow in Jerusalem, which is a 45-minute bus ride.
That's not too bad. We have 45 degrees here in South Florida, and it's going down tonight. So there's a cold spell, but you, for Insight for Israel and Hershey for Heroes, you bring warmth to all the IDF people. Tell our new listeners and viewers about Hershey's for Heroes.
Yes, Hershey's for Heroes was a program I started because after Insight to Israel brings you boots on the ground truth about the greatness of the Jewish state and their fight for sovereignty and security, I wanted to allow Americans to have a way that's cost effective and time efficient to show their love for the front lines of every Israeli, which is every Israeli serves in the IDF. And so they send me Hershey's for Heroes, where they put notes on the chocolate bars. This is for my mother and the ladies in her prayer group. And so they send Hershey's chocolate bars with notes on them to the soldiers. We love you. We pray for you. We stand with you. And when you hear from the media, from our government, and every leftist group around the world, how bad the Israeli soldiers are, which is a lie, when they see that note, it totally changes their perspective on their defense of their country.
All right, Michael, you are an evangelical Christian. You worked in Washington, D.C., in the communications and media and lobbying world for many years, then decided, I'm done with this. I'm going to Israel. Why did you make a decision like that?
You know, a lot of it had to do with my upbringing and my education, the truth that my mother shared with me about the Jewish people and that this is their land and the world wants to take it from them. Plus, this is why I love what you guys do, because I studied the Quran, the Hadith, and the Sirah while I was in Bible college. And I watched the growth of Islam around the world. And then as I, got older and continued to see the lies about Israel, then I said, you know what? I owe the Jewish people for my freedom as an American, because if it had not been for God giving them Torah at Mount Sinai, I wouldn't have a Constitution or Bill of Rights. And so I just came to this place. There's a whole other story behind it, but I said, if I have to fight for freedom, I'm going to do it on the front lines with the Jewish people who defend their freedom every day.
All right, hey, folks, if you have to leave right now at 16 minutes after in your automobile or you have a meeting, you can go to theunitedwest.org, watch our complete show. You can go to Tea Party Community, watch the complete show. We're on WSBR Radio, 740 AM. We're on 1010 in Tampa Bay, WHFS. We're all over the place right now. But if you got to leave, you just heard an individual who had a very successful career in Washington, D.C., but his mom told him about the unique role that God had for the chosen people. Not chosen because they're better than anyone else, chosen with a very burdensome task of bringing light to people that want darkness. And that impacted Michael's life as it has impacted my life. And we do what we do here. That's one of the reasons. He got up and went to Israel. And I know you have a special message to all Jewish people worldwide. What is that message regarding Israel?
The people that were born here fight for freedom every day. Don't insult them by sending your money, by sipping their wine on their beaches here in Tel Aviv. You come here, show solidarity with your people. The Jewish lobby has utterly failed while they've made millions off the backs of the people who fight for freedom every day. Come home. Sell all while you can, while the economy is okay, before it crashes. Show solidarity and defend this country with the people who defend it every day.
And to highlight what he's saying there was he did that incredible interview the other day on the streets of Israel in Jerusalem.
Tel Aviv. I think it was Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv, I'm sorry. Do you want to play that, Tom?
Sure, yeah. I'm not getting my earpiece for some reason here. Yeah, Michael, this is an amazing message, and I have a lot of Zionist Jewish friends here in America, and they are torn. I'll tell you, Michael, they're torn. They understand what you just said, that the land and the people in Israel are calling them home, calling American Jews. But they may be rationalized. That's good. They may be rationalized. They tell me, they go, I'm rationalizing. We're making money here. We can't make the money over there like we do here. We have businesses and families. We're sending what we can. At some point, I do want to move. I can't right now. But I got to tell you, they are conflicted for sure, because it's a unique experiment from the days of the beginning where God said, I'm going to take this unique group of people and put them in a very difficult situation. That's why it's essential for Christians, and we've been grafted into the tree of Judaism, to stand with Jewish people, fight with Jewish people, and assist them in these very difficult days. What did you do the other day in Tel Aviv with the brilliant folks from V15? What was that all about, Michael?
There's two things I love to do. Let me put this in a positive note. There's two things I love to do. I'm a fighter. I grew up in a military family, and I love fighting the left, and I love fighting Muslims. And so when I heard about V15 and how unfortunately, the fact that they're Jewish, these leftist Jews that want to give land away, and they're sponsored by the American taxpayer, George Soros, and other leftist groups and Muslim groups all around the world, and that want to influence the elections, I said, all right, now it's time to step up and let's get the truth out there. So I confronted these folks head on.
All right, and we're going to show that right now. I'm going to show about a minute or two of it, and then you can explain exactly what's taking place. Folks, 21 minutes after 4 o'clock here, Tom Trento, your host, Enemies of the State. You want to see some enemies of the state? V15 in Tel Aviv. Watch this.
Israel and Hershey's for Heroes, and I am in front of the press office here in Tel Aviv. And currently, the Likud party is filing a legal complaint against groups that come from the outside of Israel. And your funding's coming from outside of Israel.
That's not true either. Let us speak about that.
Okay, I'm here with. Let me say, I'm here with V15.
That's a lie. That's
in front of the press office, and these young people are here. I'm going to let them tell you what their purpose for being out here. What's your name?
I'm Liad, and I'm from Victory 15. Our organization started out in the living room, and now 4 weeks after, we're here bringing hope and change to the Israeli government. What we stand for is the hope to bring more change. We do not stand for a specific party, but all of us, from all the parties, want to change how we see Israel today. That's what we stand here for.
So what kind of change are you hoping to see?
He looks dumbfounded. Wait, he has to explain my position?
What kind of change are you actually hoping to see?
I'm lost. I can't.
We're hoping to see a political change in the government and the change to get outside of the conflict of everything we got in here in Israel. We do not feel hope anymore. There's no hope in the streets and there's no hope at homes, and we want to bring that hope back.
Okay, but be specific with me. Like, what do you want to change?
We want to change the government.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
That's why it sounded
That's
familiar.
What about the government do you not like?
We do not like the cynical use of no hope and death Israel
No hope and no
and the
change.
public who stands in today. Excuse me.
Okay. What do you think the biggest problem with Israel is today?
No hope.
No hope.
But I need something more specific. You're talking to an international audience here.
No, I totally know, and I'm part of that audience as well. What we try to bring is a new wind
Hope.
to the political game in Israel.
And what's wrong with the political game now?
It shows no hope. It shows in the
No
last
change.
6 years we had the same political party standing with a strong arm.
All right, Michael.
It hurts.
There's
Stop
no
it,
way
it
to
hurts.
change.
Michael.
There's no way to
It hurts. It hurts.
Michael. You are a better man than me, Michael Ganoe. I would have said, are you out of your friggin' mind? You said no hope and no change 100,000 times. What are you talking about? How come those guys aren't in the IDF doing push-ups in the Negev? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. They would have, they would be doing something a lot more prosperous with their life. That's for sure.
Unbelievable.
So, let me say this, Tom. I've had Republicans in Washington, D.C., because I take a stand against Islam and for the Jewish state. Now, these people say they're pro-Israel, but when I tell them and when I post in the media what is plainly in front of us, that we are at war with Islam, period. If you teach your children the Quran, you are at war with me. If you take your children to mosque, I'm at war with you. I mean, because you're pushing and promoting, and we have to look at it from the big picture, but I've now been called an extremist because I take such a strong stand with this country, and I understand who the enemy is. And so now I've been labeled in Washington, D.C., especially after this video, by people that are calling themselves Republicans, because I'm interfering in the process here in Israel with politics.
Well, we got your back here, believe me, and we will be, the United West, ladies and gentlemen, will be in Israel. We'll be in Israel on the 21st of March, but on the 3rd of March, we will be in Washington, D.C. at Lafayette Park. We are organizing with the Sons of Defenders of Liberty Motorcycle Club, and several others. We are organizing a pro-America, pro-Israel, pro-freedom rally, pro-Benjamin Netanyahu rally, anti-Obama rally, particularly after the event that he has convened, the Countering Violent Extremism nonsensical event. We have your back here, and you are on the right track. And let me make a share a couple of thoughts on the controversial statement you said that we are at war with Islam. A lot of people kick back and go, well, we are, the United West and others that work with us, we're on the leading edge of the information war. And we do a lot of work thinking and constructing ideas and phrasing words. And words have meaning, words have strength, words have vitality, unlike this administration's use of words. Though they're better at it than everybody thinks, and they're appealing to their base and to the Muslim world. But everyone's afraid to say we are at war with Islam. You just said that. And so what we now have to do, because we in the West are afraid to say we are at war with Islam, how could you be at war with 1.8 billion people? Now, we've put ourselves in this box. We can't say we're at war with Islam. So now, what are we at war with? And now it's a moving target. The Islamic world moves the target and we can never hit it. Conversely, if we say we are at war with Islam, the paradigm and the burden is shifted to whoever defends Islam to say, what are you talking about? Everybody attacking us all over the place is a Muslim.
No, this is not true. Listen to your president. Your president says that it is not just the Muslims responsible for all the violent extremism.
That's exactly the position, Michael. We want the defenders of Islam is to be defending our charge that we're at war with them, not the other way around. That's the critically important point. Once we shift that paradigm and they got to say, no, all of Islam isn't, okay, we go, okay, we'll grant that all of Islam isn't at war with us, then who in Islam is at war with us? Well, it isn't Islam. It's violent. Now we're in a position to we'll move the target, and then we'll define very, very clearly, and the battle lines will be drawn as to who on the Islamic side is at war with the West, and who at the West is at war with whom on the Islamic side. There's a kinetic war. We work in the cultural and information war, uniting the West. Where do you think the name came from? The United West.
Yes. One other thing, too, Tom, is that this similar parallel happened before World War II, where nobody wanted to go to war with Germany. Oh, we don't. Well, and then we kept saying, then the people who were predicting what was going on was saying Germany is going to go to war with us. And they said, well, no, all Germany's going to go to war with us, even though it was the Nazis that were going to war with us. Then they had to defend who was actually going to war with us. Yes, the ideology that is prevailing in Germany right now at this particular time and place is at war with Western society. Almost the same type of parallel, where it's anti-Semitic, anti-Jew, world domination, but
very similar. I mean, it really is.
With the difference being, one is a theocracy, and the other one was a state. Even though the parallels are so similar, it's amazing. It really is.
Really, hey Michael, along these lines, we're talking. We're in the same intellectual and ideological and philosophical mold that Islam is the problem. The threat doctrine of Sharia is the catalyst and agitating force. Jews and Christians are the target. Along those lines, what's happening politically? Because we know March 17th, there's an election for the prime minister. Is everyone together in Israel on understanding this issue the way we do here?
It's funny because I just finished an international security conference a few days ago, and the left wing is siding with, it's almost mind-numbing, that sides with the Arabs or the Muslims, Arab is a cultural term, is using this as a stump to beat up on Bibi and saying, Iran's not the problem. We are the problem, and we have our own issues to solve that Bibi's trying to avoid, internal issues such as prices of gasoline and homes and things like that. What they don't get is, and what they fail to see, is that the left fails to see, is that all of their internal problems, the high prices, the cost of living and everything, is caused because of their neighbors, because they have to build up their defense. They have to continue to keep up their security system internally and pay a police force to defend the country. The majority of Israelis understand that what their problems are, and they're with Bibi. It's just a very hard push from the leftist media, from the White House, from the leftist media outside of Israel, from the Europeans that are pushing and promoting this lie that Bibi should not speak before the Congress. And he has every right to, and people here want him to.
Right.
Now,
what about too, Tom?
What about what's that?
It's the same exact parallel back before World War II,
Oh, yeah,
where we had
remarkable.
Lindbergh and we had Henry Ford, and we had all these prominent leftists, uber leftists, very popular people pushing this pro-Nazi agenda. And it was all coming from the left in the universities, everywhere else. And it was just, abhorrent, the type of ideology that's getting pushed through the universities and the leftist elite back before World War II.
The Ecclesiastes, the book in the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. Every generation, this stuff comes around. What socialism? Who in their right mind would go socialism? That sounds like, or even communism. Those sound like great systems,
ideas,
and it's got to work. It's never ever worked. It's failed every single time. Why do people still try to implement socialism? Because
these are the smartest people.
There you go.
In the world.
In the world. They think that
Thurston has to got to quit smoking.
They get it implemented and executed better. So it's nothing new under the sun. All right, before we let you go, Michael, Iran. Iran is standing in the balance. Iran, ironically, how about that? That's pretty good.
Really.
Ironically, has in 3 short years gone from the most significant enemy that Israel and the West has to now the United States aligning itself with Iran, downplaying the discussions and negotiations regarding nuclear capability. And one of the reasons why Netanyahu is coming here, the main reason, is to tell Congress, don't weaken on this. What's the feel for the Iranian situation in Israel right now?
So, I have to be honest with you, people here at the grassroots level that I talk to, whether they're in Tel Aviv, even I have to tell you that even some of the left are worried. They're worried about our relationship because the way that the media is promoting it is that the entire relationship with the United States will be utterly destroyed if Bibi speaks. And the people here, they're really wondering, America, you better take a stand and do everything at all costs to stop the left and Islam, because I'm telling you, the people here are worried about how we feel about them. And they're worried about our relationship with them, and they only see that relationship predominantly through the media and the U.S. government. Because the pundits, I'm glad the Republicans won, but I just don't, I hear them say things here and there, but we need a very strong force, a showing of force.
That is why after 70 years of voting Democrat, I finally pulled the lever for Republican in 2012. I cannot take the way the Democratic Party treats Israel anymore.
That's Schmucky Putznick,
Yeah.
88-year-old Jewish fella, formerly Democrat. I'm going to ask these guys in here, Michael, a very important question. Then we're going to have to let you go here. But and the question I'm going to ask them answers all of the Jewish people in Israel regarding this very controversial, very, very controversial visit of Benjamin Netanyahu to the United States Congress. Here's my question to the guys in the booth. If Netanyahu said, I'm going to take a poll, how many people, he lands, he gives his talk, then he's going to fly out, but before he gets on his airplane and flies out, how many people would like me to stay and be your president? Would the majority of Americans say, get the hell out of here, Netanyahu? Or would they say, yes, yes, please stay? What do you guys say?
I'd say majority of Americans. Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't know about the majority because, you got 49, 50%, all depending on a clear day, don't even know who Netanyahu is. They're completely clued out. I would say a slight
I would
majority.
say for those that, and we've discussed this in the past, that maybe too many people are allowed to vote.
Right.
That there should be
Dopey
some
people shouldn't vote.
dopey
Okay.
people shouldn't be allowed to vote. People that just want free stuff shouldn't
Yeah,
be allowed to
yeah.
vote.
I would
But
disagree with you on that,
if
but-
there was a qualifying test, do you have a right to vote? If you narrowed it down to the people with a minimum of intelligence and knowledge, then I think the answer would be yes, absolutely. But being we have to include all the dopes in this country that do actually get to vote, I don't know. But you take the anti-Semitism, you take the left-wing media that's been bashing Israel for almost 2 decades now, you take the young voters that are poisoned on the college and university systems, I don't know. But if you took the rational thinking people of this country, whose numbers are dwindling, the answer would be yes.
Okay, well, I would think...
And that's more than I normally talk. Sorry.
I would think it would be a majority. I think most of the Republicans would. There'd be some in there.
Right.
But the point is, he ain't going to lose anything. And look, he's a very wise politician. He's a warrior. He fought in several wars. He bled for his country. He was the ambassador to the United States. He was educated in the United States. He was the prime minister twice.
Well,
he understands how our political system works.
Well, one thing I do want to say about this whole visit, which I think is highly critical, is I think it's very important for one simple point in fact to show the world how much President Obama hates Bibi Netanyahu. I mean, it was kind of like, does he really not like him, or does he not quite like him? Now it's crystal clear that Obama hates Bibi Netanyahu with a passion, because you do not have an important dignitary like him come to the United States and address the Congress and be completely snubbed and turned away by the White House. There's no other signal that it can be. He just hates him, doesn't want to deal with him.
Well, I also have a very interesting question that Michael could answer, and that is, take the reverse. If Barack Hussein Obama were to take a visit to Israel, and before he left, what percentage of Israelis would say, please stay, we want you to be our president?
Right.
What do you say to that one, Michael?
There is a huge deception here in the beginning, because after Obama won the first time, there was a perception by many Israelis that he's a good guy. Now, when he started the second term, and I interviewed people, and a lot of people don't want to be on camera here, but I actually talked to people in the street in Jerusalem, and they said, Obama's great, he's coming to our country. And I said, but think about this. He didn't come the first term when he had every opportunity, because again, it's about the media. It's the media that lies. But now, if he came here today, wow, this guy, no way. They would not want him in the country.
Yeah, and that's increasing here in this country. And we had a show the other day. It was President's Day here on Monday, and what
Wish
we said,
we had
Michael,
one.
Wish we had one.
Yeah, our little thing we sent out was, wish we had one. But we made a very important point. We here at the United West, we highly respect the office of president. Part of our work is to defend the Constitution, but we simply don't defend every individual that occupies the office, because you could fall far short of the high calling of the office. Not only has he fallen high short, President Obama, he has committed high crimes and misdemeanors.
Definitely.
And these aren't crimes of even offensive nature. A lot of them are by omission, though we believe that offensively, by commission, he is purposely confusing the name and essence of the enemy, and he could at least say the enemy has something to do with Islam, not nothing to do with Islam.
What are you talking about?
I'm confused on this. He could say the jihadi part of Islam. He could say the political part of Islam. He could say the violent part of Islam. There's a lot of ways that he could define it and still maintain the separation that a lot of people do. No, he's turned around and become an apologist, saying how great Islam has been for the United States, how great the contributions have been, using the numbers of Islam, 7, 8 million, when that's a totally fake number according to Pew. He's an apologist. Therefore, not only do we not respect him as an individual, but we're now looking at him as an ideological enemy of the state. And indeed, he's losing recognition and consideration, even in his own party, thank God. But he still has 2 years to do a lot of damage. All right, Michael, take 30 seconds and share with our audience, who they love you, by the way. They go to Insight for Israel, Hershey's for Heroes. What would you like to share at this 42 minutes after the hour in a very cold Tel Aviv?
I want to say thank you, Tom, and all you guys for the work that you do. If you want to know the truth about what's happening in the media and boots on the ground, look to Tom Trento and all the guys at the United West. And please listen to Insight to Israel. Support both. But I want to say thank you to you guys for having me on the show. You're the best. I love you. And I need Americans to flood my mailbox with thousands of chocolate bars. This country defends freedom every day. Send Hershey's for Heroes, your church, your civic group, your friends, your family, and your synagogue.
We lost his picture.
That's
a good end. That's a good end for him.
That's a good end. He's back.
He's back. Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Michael.
We lost you for a second.
We lost
got
him.
that
All right.
Israeli
I
internet
will testify.
cafe.
I will testify. First person, eyewitness, stood there many times in the couple of days I traveled around with him in Israel, where he's handing the Hershey bars out to the IDF folks and men and women, and they were thrilled, hugging him, thanking him. Oh, you're that guy. Oh, so we want you to go to Hershey's for Heroes, his Facebook page. This is a very direct way, very low cost, very efficient. The Hershey bars get to him, and everything's explained on his Facebook page, Hershey's for Heroes, how you do it. He gets them, carries them around with him, and he hands them out all over. And there is no greater cheerleader for Israel, for the IDF that I know of than Michael Ganoe.
And what it does,
Oh,
it shows,
maybe that Jerusalem Jane might be close.
and also
They're running neck and neck
They run,
for
yeah.
pro-Israel Goyim.
That's right. They're both Christians doing great work, and they know each other.
I really like this concept because Hershey is such an American icon, and also that you have an American over there handing out stuff to the troops. It just, when I was served in the military, it always helped to have someone that you know who's with you, even if it's not, your own country, but that you have support coming over for you. Like I would see, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people when we pull into Ireland come down to and visit our ship when we pulled into different ports. I mean,
That's because they thought you had booze.
that's probably true.
Well,
But,
were
but
they
it
allowed
just-
to go
that's-
into the brig? Were they allowed to go in there?
In the brig?
Yeah.
No, not in the brig. Oh, like where I was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they bring you commissary?
Yeah, they brought me jelly, peanut butter and jelly on my right days off.
And files. All right, Tom Trento here. Enemies. My ear just popped. That was good. Now I can hear.
Now you can hear.
Yeah, enemies.
No, you don't have
of
to
this-
blame it on me. You're right.
Enemies of this. No, we got to crank my volume up a little bit, I think. Yeah. Enemies of the state. Name of the show. We are the United West. We exist as Michael does. Please donate to him. Also donate to us. We exist solely on donations. We don't produce anything. We produce nothing except great educational, informational, and entertaining material. If you think it has any value, as we know it does, then take a moment to take out your checkbook, or you can go to our website, theunitedwest.org. You can go to our Donate Securely page, and if our crack crew were on top of things, they would be showing this to you, so you would have it imprinted in your mind so that when you go there, you go, that's where I donate a lot of money. It is tax deductible. We are a 501c3 organization.
Yeah, where's that crack crew at?
Because we provide a public good. We fight Islamic jihad. Do we hate Muslims? No, that's an absurd. That's like saying, do we hate humans? No. Do we hate evil people? We fight evil. If a Christian is an evil person, we hate that. If a Muslim is an evil person, we hate that. If a Muslim is a very nice person, we love that. And in fact, as a Christian, this is an interesting concept. I'm told to even love those who are enemies, and you can do that.
That's
properly.
crazy.
You can do that and still have justice, because God makes a distinction between justice and vengeance. Very, very important. I'll explain that to you sometime.
Well,
but what was God doing when He invented what?
No, here's something I really want to bring up. You go to our past record. Every time we say something is going to happen, it happens. But every time we say it, people say, "Oh, you're just a hater. You just hate people. You just hate this and this and this." Is what when you say there's a group called the Muslim Brotherhood, which nobody heard about till we started talking about it, that exists, that wants to dominate the world. People said we were crazy, and it happened. We said, this ideology says three things: convert, submit, or die. And it wants to create a worldwide caliphate. Oh, you guys are crazy. That'll never happen. There's nobody in the world that believes that crazy stuff. Well, we have that happening now. We say that there's a Muslim Brotherhood in the White House advising Obama, right next to him advising Obama. Oh, no, you're crazy. You're just haters. You just hate Obama. No, there are Muslim Brotherhood operatives right next to Obama preaching to him. We say Iran is building a nuclear bomb, and they're going to do something really nasty with that nuclear bomb, and it's not going to be good for us. Oh, no, you guys are just crazy. Oh, you don't, all this. Every time we've said something, it's come true.
And you are right. And it's not that we're prophetic. We are simply professionals in doing this. And we work with a cadre of subject matter experts. And our job is to take that information and get it into the street, the United American street, and that's where people go, well, you guys are really out there, even friends of ours. I thought you were, and you were, Mark, you were laying out some of the successful elements of our work in order to underscore the importance of donations to us. That's good. I have a better way, though, to show that folks should be donating to us. Want me to show you?
Please
Sure.
do.
Please do.
Okay.
Oh, no.
No,
No, don't do that.
My shirt is taped together.
With gorilla
Okay,
tape.
with gorilla tape. I don't have a button on my shirt. Look at it. And I had to tape it together so it wouldn't come apart on the show. Please send us some money so Tom can have a shirt. Please.
Yeah.
You can write on your check for Tom's shirt. Okay?
You
Please.
could just send shirts, too.
Or you can send shirts, yeah. 38 large. And
Hoping to be 36 large very soon.
No, I'm 42. The biceps need a lot of room because these guns are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Carrying the bins. But
At least you're not sticking your tongue down someone's ear, though.
okay, all right. If I got to see this, if I got to see Joe Biden stick his tongue in some really important guy's wife's ear,
Here it is.
take a look at this. This is the really important guy giving a speech at a really important place. Who is the guy?
He's the new Secretary of Defense.
That's pretty important.
That's
I would
great. The
think.
guy can't even defend his own wife's honor to crazy Uncle Joe Biden, and we're supposed to entrust the defense of the country to him.
So
Come on.
Joe Biden swears in the new Secretary of Defense. Cool.
Right.
Okay.
Great.
Hand on a Bible, whole thing. The guy goes to the podium and looks at the audience, and Biden starts sucking on his wife's ear. Take a look at this. Where is it?
Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm pulling it up here. Where's it at? The DDR? Here it is. Okay. There it is. And there it is. Hey, give me some of that, honey. Welcome to the White House, honey. Let me stick my tongue down your ear, honey.
Mark's got that perfect voice for that.
Yeah, I love you. I love you, honey.
Creepy.
I love
old
your
uncle.
husband.
Now, what
Give me
is she
another.
saying? What is she saying?
Her face is saying.
Hey, honey. The vice president's got his tongue in my ear right now. What am I
No,
supposed
she's
to do?
saying, I hope my husband controls the drone division of the Defense Department because we may need one in the future with this
I
country.
here,
think
honey.
she's thinking. I hope that the next president keeps my husband on as Secretary of Defense, so when Biden's out of the office,
Come here, honey. Play with Uncle Joe.
we
Zipper
can take
here.
care of old Uncle Joe then.
Take care of Uncle Joe.
I got to tell you, the guy's real friendly and all that, but
He's
there
too
is-
friendly.
He's a
there
little
is
too
some
friendly.
decorum to,
Well,
at least,
Can I tell you this? First of all, this woman is not covered up.
that's true.
I
She
see,
asked for it.
She is her head is not covered. Her arms all the way up above the elbow is showing. This woman is begging for the abuse she gets.
So I see. So Joe couldn't
you
handle
know,
himself.
Joe cannot help himself. He is a man. He is a very stupid man, but he is still a man.
All right, so you're arguing that Islam is better than Western civilization, and trees are global, so maybe Islam has a better use for a tree than even people in the West. Let's see if we can find a great example of a Muslim, and in this case, a Muslim terrorist, at least according to the United Arab Emirates, because they have designated the civil rights organization CAIR, Council on American Islamic Relations. They've designated them as a terrorist organization, and Nihad Awad and Hassan Shibli went crying to the UAE, please don't do this. And the UAE said, sorry, you guys are terrorists. You support the Muslim Brotherhood. You're behind all of this stuff. We had one of our investigators, Alan Corman, attend an event where Hassan Shibli, the head of CAIR, Tampa, Florida, was with Muaz Hussein. Muaz Hussein is the director of Islamophobia for CAIR Tampa. Watch what Alan Corman caught on tape. Listen to this bizarre report.
I mean, what's your position at CAIR?
There's our executive director.
No,
You
what's
speak
your?
to him
I
directly.
know, but what you have a position
Oh, I don't have a
at
position.
CAIR.
No, I don't.
You don't. Oh, I thought you did.
I'm sorry.
And what's your name?
No, he runs away.
When a person
No,
tells a lie, can you read that?
Well, here's the. Now here where he starts doing on his, what is it called? What's these sticks called?
Mizwax stick.
Oh, it's basically brushing your teeth in public.
Muaz
is what it is.
Hassan is one of
Stick.
CAIR's
That's not-
national leaders in their
Wait, listen.
Islamophobia and propaganda program.
Brushing your teeth.
Mr. Hassan's lies and unusual behavior captured on this video betray the influence this man has within the CAIR organization. It's ponderous as to why CAIR Executive Director Hassan Shibli could sit next to his Islamophobia director and allow him to pick at his teeth for such a long time. and
Radio
say
audience,
nothing.
this guy's jamming a
Muaz
stick in his
Hassan
mouth like
is,
he's
in
Bugs
fact,
Bunny on
in part
crack.
responsible for the CAIR hit list of people who challenge Islamic doctrine.
Yeah.
CAIR's hit list singles out their enemies in much the same way as Charlie Hebdo magazine was
And we're one
singled
of their
out the
enemies,
jihadi hit list.
according to them.
As we have seen in Paris, that jihadi hit list was in fact carried out, resulting in 12 deaths. Is CAIR's hit list
it's
supposed to have the same results?
God.
Luckily for America, this video exposes one of CAIR's national leaders as he truly is, a kathab for the Ikhwan. This hit list and CAIR's financial support for terrorist groups is in part why the United Arab Emirates designated CAIR a terrorist organization and CAIR leadership Muaz Hassan and Hassan Shibli as terrorists by
The whole
affiliation.
time, this guy is brushing his teeth in public.
That's
With
not
the stick.
brushing. Brushing.
Yes, it is.
Brushing is a nice.
Hey. That's
Tom,
sick.
it so is. He is brushing.
Sorry.
Stop that.
I have two things I'd like to bring up here. One is here's what a Mizwax stick is, according to Wikipedia here.
Yeah, I got it.
You want to bring that up?
Yeah.
Mizwak stick is a teeth-cleaning twig made from the
teeth clean, it's a
Salvadora
toothbrush.
persica tree, known as arak in Arabic, a traditional alternative to the modern toothbrush.
Thank
It has
you.
a long, well-documented history and is reputed for its medicinal benefits. It also features prominently in Islamic hygienical jurisprudence.
A little Sharia.
A little
Sharia.
A little Alliance of the Traveler. The
right,
Mizwak
well, look.
is predominant in Muslim inhabited areas. It is commonly used in the Arabian Peninsula, the Horn of Africa, North Africa, parts of Sahel, the Indian subcontinent, Central Asia, blah, blah, blah.
So you
But
brush your-
a
brush your-
second thing I want to go
Well,
to
hold
here.
on. Brush your teeth with
With a
a tree
stick.
branch. With
Yeah.
a tree branch, because
Yeah.
you can't afford a toothbrush.
All right, well, let's say that's cool, because people wipe their butt with corn cobs, okay? Do you do that in public?
No!
Do you do that in public?
That's
Come on.
disgusting.
It's disgusting,
But
man.
if you go right now to today, now that video's maybe taken a month ago tops.
Yeah, a couple months.
Okay, I just went to CAIR, Florida, right now, as we're watching that video.
Okay, right
and you
now
go to
on
their
the 19th,
staff,
Thursday.
You go to their staff.
Okay.
And Muaz Hassan is the research and special projects coordinator. He's listed right there on their website
Wait
as
a
staff.
minute,
So the guy
wait
just
a-
lied to Alan right to his face on camera.
All right, very important point at 57 minutes after the hour. And we like to give big ideas. Our big idea today, one of them, besides the tape on my shirt, the big idea is that Israel is the eastern front of Western civilization. The second big idea is that CAIR, Council on American Islamic Relations, is a terrorist organization with liars, lying liars. Alan Kornman asked him if he was a member of the organization. He said no. Muaz Hassan, the tree-sucking branch guy on his teeth. And they did have it listed a couple of months ago that he was the director of Islamophobia. Did they take that off?
Yes.
Apparently they have. So I'm just showing him as the research and special projects coordinator. Doesn't matter. He's listed on CAIR, Florida's staff. How can the guy say on camera he's not? I mean, it's not like he's the big poobah of Florida like this guy right here is.
All right, do we have time to talk about crazy people in the administration, the Attorney General and his 2-minute fume? No, we don't, do we?
What time is it?
8, now it's 2.
Whatever you want to talk
get
about.
Get a minute. Try to get a minute of
Eric
Eric Holder with his crazy-looking glasses.
got
I
it.
don't know why. He's probably got something wrong with his eyes to put those
got
on.
it.
But this was the other day at the press club, introducing the issue of countering violent extremism, which is nonsensical. And he was asked, you don't have to give the long lead in.
I got it.
He was asked, why don't you guys name Islamic terrorism Islamic terrorism? Here's his answer.
It doesn't have any impact on our military posture. It doesn't have any impact on what we call it, on the policies that we put in place. What we have to do is defined not by the terms that we use, but by the facts on the ground. And
words don't have any meaning.
so I don't worry an awful lot about what the appropriate terminology.
I'm just the Attorney General.
And I think people need to actually think about that and think about
what do they know
really
about
we having this
legal
conversation
terms and stuff?
about words.
If I was a judge, I'd throw him out of my court.
Actions,
Are we really having this conversation about words?
About words, as opposed to what our actions ought to be.
Try to get through
This
law
is a
school
different-
saying that stuff.
This is going to be an ongoing issue. This is something that requires us to think as a nation. How are we going to deal with the domestic issues that I was describing in my previous response, and how are we going to deal with the foreign policy consequences of some very, very serious problems that
These
our
people
allies
are
face
idiots.
and
They
that
really
we
are.
face, and particularly in a part
He hasn't
of-
said
particular
anything
part
of
the world.
substance.
But,
Other than
terminology
admitting to being an
it
idiot.
seems to me little or no impact on what.
Yeah, not defining your enemy has little to no impact on your policy. That makes.
Look, they got caught. These guys got caught. They got caught in a box that they can't get out of. Now, to admit that it's something to do with Islam, that words are important, like common sense stuff, totally screws them. And they got a hidden agenda. They want to get a bunch of stuff done before their term is over. So, but guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Not here, not in this news studio. They're not going to get away with it. We have, what do we have? We got all kinds of resources here. But we got about 30 seconds left, Mark. Do you need new equipment to do bigger and better things to smash the enemy?
Yes, we do. We understand
like
people.
a mute button.
Yeah, understanding we're in a media war, and the bad guys, from a media perspective, you got to look at it.
We built this studio. Hey, what happened here?
What? I changed the studio.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
You don't even know half the stuff I do, right?
Yeah. He is the Islamophobia and communications director, according to his bio on.
Okay.
But anyway, the CAIR and ISIS and all the bad guys, they're ramping up their media production. And people, if we are in a media war with these guys, which we are, I mean, we have to have a response. And I do say this categorically, we are doing this more than anybody else, far beyond.
Amen. On that bombshell, as they say at Top Gear, we have to go. See you tomorrow.
Okay, later, bye.